एंड ऑफ दी ओवर पे आप बंद वहां से म्यूट कर दो. Hello everyone, good evening and a warm welcome to this match of the Dad's Premier League. We have the Jns Supremos going head to head against the Avm Yoddhas. It is the Avm Yoddhas who have won the toss and they've elected to field first. And the first ball has seen their opener for the Supremos, Pratik, get off the mark almost immediately. It is Saurabh who's kick-starting proceedings with the ball for the Yoddhas. And that is the other opening partner, Varun, who gets off the mark from the other end as well. That means both the openers have now gotten off the mark and are ready to take their innings up a notch. So, as we are in the first 6 overs of the game, it is the power play. The field restrictions are in place, which means two fielders will be permitted to go outside the 30-yard circle. And those fielders are a deep third man and a deep extra cover. That's a good shot off the back foot, lands safely, will get 2 runs for that. Short-ish delivery, swivels and plays it rather nicely. Not exactly getting the timing that he was hoping for, but eventually landing safely, and that means 2 runs comfortably taken by. Oh, that's only a single. I beg your pardon. Just a single taken rather than two. And that brings Varun on strike now. Saurabh to continue. Oh, tried to go for the expansive drive over the offside. Here, as you can see, expansive drive, tries to give it the full Monty, misses it completely, and a good take by the keeper. So, a cautious start from the opening batsman and a rather sedate start from the bowler as well. So far, 4 balls into the over, it has been a stalemate. Let's see what the fifth ball has in store, and that once again trying to go for the big shot was Varun. Once again, does not able to connect, and once again it goes back into the hands of the keeper. So in these last two deliveries, Varun making his intentions rather clear that he is going to be aggressive. He's tried the same shot twice. He's not able to pull that off. Perhaps a change in shot and keeping the aggression same at 100. Here is Saurabh to bowl the last ball of the first over. And it's gone. So he's going for that aggressive route. Tried to play the aggressive shot this time over the leg side, but was beaten all ends up by the pace of that ball. And Saurabh gets that first wicket. Let's have a look at that. Yes, that little bit of late movement, and the best possible sight that a bowler would want to see is that the stumps are a mess. So the Supremos lose their first wicket. Varun has to depart, and it's the end of the first over. The score for the Supremos is 3-1. we have a change in bowling, but before that, once again, the wicket late movement, beating that gap between bat and pad, and the stumps are an absolute mess. So Jayesh is the new bowler from the other end, and Lavesh is the new batsman who's walked out to the middle. So the early setback for the Supremos means that they will have to reiterate their plans as to how are they going to approach the next couple of overs, have a game plan, a packed offside field for Jayesh as Pratik is the batsman on strike. Oh, that was swinging down the leg side, and that is running away to the fence, and that is the first boundary for the Supremos. Late swing way down the leg side. All Pratik had to do was get bat onto it, flicks it nicely, and the ball had enough pace to run to the boundary. So that's the first boundary for the Supremos, and the first boundary for Pratik as well. Long off. One of the fielders in the deep, and here is straying down the leg side there, and that has been given as a wide. So a little bit of pressure building on Jayesh here. Straying down the leg side for both his deliveries, one going to the boundary and the other one being given as a wide. We'll have to bowl a little more towards the off stump. That's a much better delivery there. Bowling to his field, because you can see there's a packed offside field. There's the short third, there's the point, there's cover, and there is a catching fielder on the offside as well. So it's a rather packed offside field. And the game plan is very simple, that he bowl to his field. Here he comes once again. And that's a beautiful looking shot. Again towards the leg side. The result is another boundary in this over. Again, straying on the legs. In beautifully flicked once again. And that, no fielder in the deep. Easy pickings for four. So Pratik's getting a move on here in this over. And he's put Jayesh under the cosh with this aggressive batting of his. Also, because Jayesh being a little too generous with his lines and lengths as well. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Gives it the full Monty, and that is six. Beautiful in the slot, asking to be hit. And that beautiful expansive drive, bottom hand coming into play, and that just kept going on and on and on for a maximum. So this is a very expensive over here. 15 runs already, still two more deliveries to go. It's the perfect start that Pratik could have under the circumstances. An early wicket with the bowling side looking to put more pressure after getting that early breakthrough. This is the perfect riposte, and Pratik has been giving it big time. Here is Jayesh. Nice forward defense. The batsman will come across for a single. One more ball in the over. It's already 16 runs coming off it. Big over right in the opening exchanges of this contest. Will give will give Layesh just that little bit of cushion and that little bit of time that he would need to just acclimatize himself to the conditions that are there out there in the middle. He can afford to play a couple of deliveries just to get himself in. Jayesh to bowl the final ball of what has been an expensive first over for him. Oh, that was close, but nothing doing. So he ends the over with the dot ball. Nevertheless, it is a rather expensive over. The end of two overs, Supremos 19 for 1. let us have a look at all of the boundaries that were scored in the previous over. As you can see, here was the first one, nicely flicked onto that leg side, square of the wicket. The next one, this time going towards the V, over mid wicket, brilliantly picked. And then the cherry on the top, that's six. Over the head, on the offside, over mid off, and that was a beautiful shot for six. In the meanwhile, here is Saurabh to continue. And even he starts this over by straying down the leg side. It's been a recurring theme. Uh, it could be a little bit of movement that they're getting off the pitch, but they're not able to focus on the lines and lengths and be accurate with it. The first over from Saurabh was a masterclass in accuracy, but even he started off range for the first ball of his second over. Is this the pressure that has been built by the batting side in that previous over where they got plenty of runs to get for? Here is Saurabh. They're going for that short pitch delivery, much better on the body, will get a single, but that is a much better delivery compared to the previous one. Keeping it in the body line, not too comfortable enough to pull a hook for the big shot, just enough to keep the batsman on his toes, and he understands it as well, and he plays it just accurately enough to scamper across for a single. That brings Lavesh on strike to face Saurabh for the first time in this match. Here is Saurabh. Plays it nicely. Very close call. And that is a misfield as well. And that has gone to the boundary. So what should have been a single is now 5 runs. There he was looking for the throw. Would have been shot had he hit it. But a misfield here means that the ball, with no protection on the deep, that ball is gone for 4. So that's 5 runs. So not many things going right for the Yoddhas in these early exchanges with the ball. Gee, they'd like some tight overs and a bit of control in these early exchanges here. Here comes Saurabh. That's played rather nicely off the back foot towards third man for a single. Third man and deep extra cover are the two fielders in the deep. We are 3 balls into the third over. The Supremos, after losing an early wicket, are now the team in the ascendancy with the score currently at 27 for 1. Pratik is currently batting on 19 of 9 and Lavesh is on 5 of 2. And Lavesh is currently on strike facing Saurabh. Oh, that is well wide. Again, it is the inconsistency or the lack of accuracy here because this is way, way wide. And to be honest, there's nothing much that the keeper could do there apart from just helplessly watch the ball go past him for a boundary. So the pressure well and truly on this Yoddha side here. You would believe that an early wicket in the first over would give them the ascendancy and they would be the one tightening the screw on the batting innings, but in fact it has gone the opposite direction where the batting side is the one pulling the strings and dictating proceedings here. That's nicely played, very, very elegantly played, and that's another boundary. So the runs are flowing thick and fast. Nicely glanced off his pads, way too straight once again. Runs coming in heaps and bounds for the Jns Supremos. They have already galloped to 36 and there's still 2 more balls to go for the end of the third over. Couldn't have asked for a better start despite the loss of a wicket. They will be looking to just hammer this advantage home here, these two batsmen, with Lavesh also finding his range and Pratik already making his intentions clear with that bumper over at the previous one. So here is Lavesh. Oh, that's a good ball. Much better delivery, but very good running between the wickets as well. So they have continued to put the pressure. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a few words exchanged by the fielding side as well. I think it's way too early in the match to be on the touchier side because there's still a long, long way to go. Things can be pulled back, but this is already a big over here. 17 runs of this over, 17 runs coupled with the 16 run over, 17 run over in the previous one as well. Here comes Saurabh. Oh, that's another good ball. A huge appeal, but not out, says the umpire. But they do scamper across for a single eventually. And that is the end of the third over with the Supremos 38 for 1. So they've already decided to make change in the bowling attack here. They've brought in the new bowler, and it is Rishi who will be bowling his first over. Already a breathtaking start from the Supremos. The 19 run over in the previous one, a 16 run over in the second, and 35 runs in the last two overs means that they are sitting pretty halfway through the power play. A slip has been brought in. Here comes Rishi to bowl to Pratik. Oh, that is a beautiful ball first up. Turn, bounce, drift, and a leaning edge there. Great start. Let's have a look at that once again. Look at that. Everything. Drift, turn, beats the batsman, all ends up. A little while more in the air, and that would have been the first wicket, but that is a very, very good start from Rishi. Oh, that's a huge appeal, but no, it looked like there was bat involved there. So this is a good start from Rishi, giving a little bit of flight in the first ball, and here just bowling it full, darting it into the batsman. Here again, that's another good ball, but this time they will come across for a single. But this is a good start from Rishi. He's bowled three balls. He's bowled it accurately with his lines and length spot on. He's created a chance almost immediately, making an instant impact. So after two big overs, this is probably just the over probably that the Yoddhas would need if they are able to sustain it. Here is Rishi to bowl to Lavesh this time. Oh, that's another good ball, but they do rotate the strike. That is good running between the wickets by Lavesh and Pratik so that the score does not remain stagnant. After two dot balls, they've compensated for that with two singles. Here is Pratik. Oh, went for the big shot there, and that's a misfield. And that has gone for four. Should have been saved. Nice shot, played it rather well. This had to be saved by the fielder there. I feel that's a little casual, but again, The uneven bounce means that the ball would have deviated from its natural angle, but however, the fielder had to have done better there, and that's another boundary. Just when it was looking like Rishi was tightening the screws a bit, that boundary just releases all the pressure that he had built. However, last ball of the fourth over takes the aerial route. There is protection out there in the deep, and they come across a couple. So, 8 runs coming off this over. After 4 overs, the Supremos are 46 for 1. Here is the wicket that has fallen so far, beating the batsman all ends up. Stumps going for a walk. And you would have thought that that wicket would have probably meant a period of dominance for the bowling side. But the counter attack from both the batsmen had been such a stunning one. It took the fielding side completely by surprise. And as I speak, there is another bowling change out here. It is Vishal, who is the new bowler, back into the attack. We still have 2 more overs of the power play to go, which means that the window of maximizing the runs are still there for the Jns Supremos. And with both batsmen looking in good touch, you'd not put it past them to get as many runs as they could in the next 12 legal deliveries. But there is evidence of turn in this wicket. Here is Vishal. Oh, that's a good ball. Full into the stumps, but that was veering away. So Lavesh rather fortunate. Leg by signal by the umpire there, but that's a very, very good ball. Very, very good ball first up, as you can see here. He's darting it full. Lavesh gave him the charge, but it hit him just right on the toe. Here he is again, bowling it stump to stump. The batsmen do come across for a single, but this is very good bowling here. Very, very good bowling indeed from Vishal. I think this is probably the name of the game. Accuracy, bowling the right lines and lengths, bowling it straight here. Oh, that was narrowly. That was very, very close. Not something you'd blame the bowler for. Just that late bit of movement, taking that ball just away from the leg side. But I see the plan here from Vishal. He's trying to keep it tight. He's trying to keep it on the stumps so that the batsmen do not maximize the hitting arc there once again. Good tight bowling here from Vishal, not allowing the batsman any sort of room on either side to free his arms and go for those big shots, which was so often the case in those overs where the batsmen did take the bowlers to the cleaners. But here, this is a welcome change, and this is good display of accuracy from the bowler here. Again, this time you would say, but that this is a wide, and again, the inaccuracy and the inconsistency just here, as you can see, way wide actually. Not much to do rather than shrug your shoulders and just prepare for the next ball. The bowling side will have to make sure that they do not give a lot of extras. They've already given away quite a few extras here. The wides have come in abundance. Probably a change in the lines and lengths and maybe a focus on accuracy, just bowling around that fourth, fifth stump channel would give them just that little bit of breathing room to, chip in with a few tight overs on a consistent basis. With that wide, also it's the 50 that comes up for the JNS Supremos. There, hits it down the ground, but there is protection out there in the deep at long off. Here comes Vishal. Oh, they were looking for the single, but they were was rightly sent back. So this is a nice tight over by Vishal so far. 5 balls in, just 4 runs given. He'd like to close this over the same way, and he does. They're looking for that quick single, and they get it. So despite that single, it's still a very, very decent over. Just 5 runs coming off it. And at the end of the fifth over, the Jns Supremos are 52 for 1. So it is Rishi. I guess, yeah, it looks like it is Rishi who's come back into the bowling attack. Found spin, turn, bounce, and grip almost immediately while he was brought into the attack. And he's been entrusted with the responsibility of bowling what is the final over of this power play. And he'll be very, very well aware of the fact that both the batsmen will definitely be looking for those big shots in these 6 legal deliveries. Here he comes. That's once again a nice tight start. Only a single. So the running between the wickets for both the batsmen has been really, really good indeed. They're tapping it just out about reach of the fielders, and they're pushing for those singles, rotating the strike and keeping that scoreboard ticking. Tried to go for the big shot there. A little bit of a yes and no situation, but they eventually make their ground. So 2 singles of the first 2 balls. No harm, no foul done for as far as the bowling side is concerned. So here is Pratik facing Lavesh. Rishi. Oh, that's a good ball. That's a very, very good ball. And Rishi knows that he would have a crucial, crucial role to play. Look at that. Beating that batsman all ends up. Oh, he had to play at that. I think probably with the ball turning this much, would be smart enough for the bowling side to have a slip in place. I remember they did have a slip in Rishi's previous over. Could probably go for that same trick and have a slip just in case if he gets that outside edge. Oh, that's hit. And that this time it's well fielded. Oh, they do make it in time. So it's good cricket all around here. A good fielding effort and a good throw. A good run taken as well. And a good ball as well. So overall, it's been a pretty good ball. Last 2 balls at the power play. No boundaries in this over yet for the Supremos. Here comes Rishi bowling to Lavesh. Oh, was trying to be cheeky with that. Have to see the umpire's signal, but that is well fielded. They're looking for the third, but will eventually have to settle for just a couple. Given as leg buys. So 5 balls into the final over of the power play, still no boundaries conceded. Rishi will hope that this final ball is the same and that there is no boundaries conceded in the last over of the power play. Here is Rishi bowling to Lavesh. Again, that is another yes, no. They will make the single. It's a direct hit, but not out, says the umpire. So that is the end of the power play, the end of 6 overs. Another tidy over from Rishi. The JNS Supremos are 58 for 1. So Vishal will continue to bowl from the other end. His first over went only for 4 runs. So he will be looking to continue where Rishi left off in terms of disciplined bowling. This is the first over where there was no boundaries conceded. Rishi will like to add on to that and make sure that the batsmen look to manufacture the big shots from somewhere. Oh, that's a good ball. Oh! They eventually make it. They eventually make it across for a single. But what a close shave that is. Let's have a look at the replay here. So he gets beaten all ends up. He's well outside his crease. Despairing throw by the keeper. He's made his ground here. But the stumps had already been uprooted. So, oh yes, he's made his ground rather comfortably here. So this is excellent running between the wickets. Very, very good running here. The awareness to understand that the bails had already been dislodged with the initial throw and to come across for that quick single just speaks volumes about how aware and alert they are for those loose opportunities that are available out there. Really good presence of mind here by Prateek. Here is Vishal. Oh, he takes the aerial route here. Lands safely. It's running to the boundary and that trickles away to the boundary for 4. Late movement, but it was going well down the leg side. Picks it nicely. One-legged shot. Nice, gorgeous flick there by Prateek. And that ball travels to the fence for 4. So boundary after 7 deliveries. Easing a little bit of pressure. Not that there was any to begin with, but just in case. Here is Prateek. Again, this time goes straight over the bowler's head. And that is very well fielded indeed. Could he have held on to that catch? Probably. But he's definitely saved 3 to 5 runs for his side, depending on what it was. Here, he's timed that well. Make no mistake about that. He's timed that well. Oh yeah, that was traveling, and even the fielder was in a state of movement. So I think that's very well played. Meanwhile, they're looking for 2. Will have to settle only for a single. So here is Vishal bowling to Prateek. Plays it nicely off that front foot. That's a good fielding effort here. Will only have to settle for a single. So 8 runs coming off this over. One more ball to go. Lavesh is the batsman to face. Here is Vishal. Pulls it a little wide. And that is given. He is gone. He is stumped. Lavesh cannot believe it, but he has to walk back to the pavilion, and this partnership has been nipped right in the bud just when it was threatening. So good ball, beats the batsman, all ends up. And that was quick work by the wicket keeper to dislodge the bails in a flash. Excellent keeping there. And the Yoddhas have a much needed breakthrough. So it's 7 overs gone. The Jns Supremos are 66 for 2. So rather good piece of wicket keeping, bringing about the end of that partnership here. You can see quick work there, good instincts, lightning fast glove work. The new batsman out there in the middle. So 8 runs on a wicket of that previous over. There, plays that late off the back foot. Looking for the second. Oh, that's gone for 4. That's gone for 4. Plays it nice, plays it late. Goes to the boundary for 4. That means there's a change in the field here. Costo bowling to Pratik. Oh, he takes the aerial route here. But there is protection out there in the deep, so we'll only have to settle for a single. And it is Rahul who is the new batsman, and he will be taking strike for the first time in this contest. Here's Rahul. Again, that has gone down the leg side, and that's been given as a wide. So again, the wide's not really stopping as far as the bowling side is concerned. Taken a couple of quick wickets. They've taken a couple of important wickets out there at crucial junctures, but if they do not continue or have a way to stop the extra runs from happening, it will be an uphill battle for them in the context of the game. Here's Costa to bowl to Rahul. Bowls it nicely onto the stumps. Rahul defends it back to the bowler for no run. Lest you're tuning in just now, to remind you, is the Avm Yoddhas who won the toss, elected to bowl first. Here's Kostub. Plays it nicely off the back foot this time. And that is running away to the fence for 4. Nicely played off the back foot. Swivels, connects, and beats, pierces that gap. He knew exactly where the fielder was and places this ball exactly in that gap. So very good picking by Rahul to get off the mark in style with the boundary. So a single taken immediately after the boundary. So that's smart cricket by Rahul. Just continue the run scoring. Oh, he's that's called a wide by the umpire. But this time it's to the offside. So he's trying to overcompensate for this, but wasn't exactly the ball that he was looking for. Here is Costa bowling to Pratik. Oh, he's bowled that well. He's beaten. Oh, that's a misfield. And that is stopped just agonizingly front of the boundary rope. but they will run four. So it is eventually a boundary. They do run four. So they get four for that at the end of the day. That is the end of the eighth over. And the Jns Supremos are 82 for 2. Pratik batting really well currently. He's on 44 of 27. Rahul scored 5 of the 3 balls that he has faced. Supremos going at a rather healthy run rate of 10.25 at this stage. 8 overs in, 82 for 2. Chetan is the new bowler introduced into the attack. These 2 overs would probably be a very, very crucial stepping point for both sides. For the Supremos, they'd be looking to get a couple of more overs with big runs out there. And as far as the Yoddhas are concerned, they'll be definitely looking to add a few wickets into that tally. There is a long on, there is a long off, there's a deep square leg, deep square leg, and there's a deep extra cover with the four fielders out in the deep. So here comes Chetan. Good start, but again the misfield means that they will take the single. So on a day where extras are coming in freely, there has to be a little bit of awareness and there should be a little bit tight on the field. You cannot give away those free easy singles. They need to just keep that pressure on the batting side at all times. There, enough time, and that is gone for six. Very well played. And that brings up the half century for Pratik. What a rollicking innings it has been. He's played that brilliantly off the back foot. Huge six there, and what a way to bring your half century. The ball was there to be hit, was slow, had all the time in the world to get on his back foot and pull that stylishly over that fielder for six. So the pressure immediately on Chetan after conceding a boundary within the first 2 balls of the over. Again plays that rather nicely off his pads. Should get a couple of runs rather comfortably, and they do get those 2 runs. So this has been a rather expensive start from Chetan. 9 runs off. And here is Pratik to continue. Hits straight down the ground. There is protection out there, so just a single. Here is Rahul. Oh, that ball kept low. Good keeping as well, not letting it go beyond him. So this is very good from the keeper, and probably the indication that the odd ball will keep a little low out there in the middle. There, plays it nicely off his back foot for a single. It's the end of the ninth over. The Jns Supremos are 93 for 2. Here is that six that he hit in the previous over to bring up his half century. Here, comfortable, ample of time to pick that ball, enough power to go past that fielder over the rope for six. And here, acknowledging his teammates out there in the dugout. It's a very, very well compiled and a well deserved half century there from Pratik. Still has a long way to go. Still, so does his team. And a nice bit of sportsmanship by the opposing team as well with a fist pump to acknowledge the great innings that he's played. Nice to see a little bit of sportsmanship and camaraderie growing on there amidst the throes of competition. Rishi to continue. He's probably been the pick of their bowlers so far, giving away just 12 runs in his 2 overs, not getting a wicket, but he's been by far the most accurate of the lot. It's Rahul on strike. There, giving that ball a little bit of flight, but that ball racing away. However, there is a fielder there, but the batsmen do come for 2 runs. So the scoreboard motoring along nicely. There've not been a lot of dot balls. They've not wasted a lot of deliveries. They've got their shots. They've taken the chances, and the running between the wickets has also been excellent. Oh, he's gone! That is the much deserved wicket. As you can see here, was going for the slog sweep, misses it completely, and the off stump disturbed of its groove. So that is the end of Rahul. And as we take drinks, the score for the JNS Supremos is 95 for 3. Here we are back in the thick of the action. Everyone's had a drink, everyone's refreshed. The new batsman walking out in the middle. Rishi getting his wicket, a much deserved one for the good work he's done. Was that a little wide? And yes, wide enough for the umpire as well. We'll have to bowl that one again. Ooh, swing and a miss there from the new batsman, Kanav. The ball keeping just a trifle low. Just trying to play that off the back foot. Here's Rishi bowling to Kanav once again. Bowls it nicely. They were looking for that quick single, but the keeper was right up to the task. So no run out there. Nice good tight over here by Rishi. So far, two more balls left to go. Let's see how those final two balls of the over pan out. Again, very well bowled. He's managed to keep Kanav off on strike. He's not allowed him to get off the mark. And you can see that Kanav is just getting a little touchy because it's every batsman's instinct to just, get that one run on the board just to get that little bit of confidence. And three successive deliveries of not getting a run is probably playing in the mind of the batsman right here. Should not let that get the better of him. There's still 10 more overs to go after this. Ample of opportunities to get those runs. Just play it out smartly. Here is Rishi. Oh, that is in the air. And that is dropped. They do come back for two. That was an opportunity there for another wicket. But a difficult chance goes a begging. So we are halfway through in the first innings after 10 overs. The Jns Supremos are 98 for 3. So we are halfway through. It's Chetan who will continue. Bit expensive in his first over, going for 11 runs. Probably want to get that off a little. Rishi's bowled a pretty decent over under the circumstances, the previous one. Probably want to continue the good work that Rishi had done in the previous over. Here is Chetan. Oh, he's picked that nicely, but just short of that fielder. Had he timed that more better, that would have gone straight into the hands of the fielder, but that's not the case. And the batsman will complete one run. Kanav is the batsman on strike. Oh, he's played that nicely off the back foot, but this is taken. It's a good catch in the deep. So that's two quick wickets now. And suddenly, the Yoddhas are storming back into this contest. Let's have a look at the replay of that wicket. It was bowled nicely. The field was set for that. He timed that very, very well. Played it off his back foot nicely. But that was very well judged by the fielder and safely gathered even after the tumble. That is the fourth wicket down. Gun of the batsman to depart. The Jns Supremos 99 for 4. Gunnar would find himself a little disappointed there. He thought that he did everything perfectly, played it off the back foot, judged the ball perfectly. Connect had decent bit of connection as well. Just have to tip your hat to the fielder here. Judge the catch very, very well indeed. And that will bring the new batsman on strike. So now a little bit of a rebuild required after two quick wickets falling in consecutive overs. So a little bit of a stabilizing job that has to be done by the Supremos batters. Be very interesting to see. Sheel is the new batsman on strike. Chetan to continue. Tries to go for the aerial route once again, but there's no protection in the circle, so we'll get off the mark immediately. Pratik, the batsman on strike. It's taken the aerial route, that's gone in the air, and that is beyond the fielder, and that is gone for 4. Was in the air for a very, very long time there. The fielder thought he was in business, but eventually the ball winning the race, and that goes to the boundary for 4. As you can see here, in the air for a pretty long time. Thought the fielder would have had a chance, but no, and that goes to the boundary for 4. Pratik moves on to 58 with that boundary. Oh, he's gone for the big shot once again, and this time he has to depart. So that is another wicket in this over. This is a huge over, potentially match turning over. The set batsman Pratik has to depart for 58. And now let's have a look at this one. Was in the slot, was just did not get the timing that he was looking for, and a good, nice running catch there by the fielder at long on. So the set batsman has to depart. The Supremos have now lost half their side with score now 104. But the problem here is that the Supremos have lost probably their best batter. He was a set batsman, was looking good at 58. It was on his shoulders that the run scoring was dependent on. But now that he's gone, this is a really, really good opportunity for the Yoddhas to, tighten the screws a bit. Two comparatively new batsmen out in the middle, put in a few tight overs, stop the run flow, stop the boundaries a bit, and that is exactly how you come into the contest. But this is a brilliant over from Chetan in the circumstances. Gets the last laugh after being hit for a boundary on the previous delivery, gets the wicket that they were looking for, and I'm pretty sure that the Yoddhas would be cock a hoop with this. They know that they are well and truly in this contest. Pritesh is the new batsman who's walked out to the middle. Expansive drive out there. Are they going to look for two? No, they won't. Have to settle for a single. So that is the end of the 11th over. The Jns Supremos 105 for 5. It is Rishi who will bowl out. Played it rather nicely. Oh, close call. Scamper across for a single. So Rishi has bowled exceedingly well here. 18 runs, taken a wicket. Can he add to his tally of wickets in this over? 5 more balls to go. He's been accurate with his lines and lengths. He's not given plenty of scoring opportunities. He's bowled very tightly. But again, missing his run up, so we'll have to do that again. Here he comes. Bowling to Shield. Big shot. Just in front of the fielder. We'll have to settle for a single there. Here is Pritesh. Plays it straight to the bowler. No run. So tight over again. Just 2 runs conceded off the first 3 deliveries. Here he comes. Bowling to Pritesh again. Again a defensive shot. So no run there. So now the Yoddhas putting a little bit of a squeeze on proceedings, dictating terms, and as I speak, the towel's coming into play for the first time. So there could be dew out there, make for very, very interesting second period win the run chase. Again, another good delivery. So 3 dot balls in a row. So Rishi bowls out. 4 overs, 25 runs, 1 wicket. The end of 12 overs, 113 for 5. Oh, he's going for the big shot, a huge appeal, and that is given LBW. There, he was looking for the big shot, was beaten all ends up, and he's right in front of the stumps. It's a good decision by the umpire, and that is LBW. So the sixth wicket goes down. So all of a sudden now the Supremos in a bit of trouble. They've lost 4 wickets in 4 overs. In the previous ball, here you can see he hit that really hard. It was a tough chance. Oh, you just hope he was okay there because that was hit very, very hard indeed. That's been given as a wide, and they scamper across for that extra run. So 2 runs of that. Oh, he's picked that. He's picked that. And that is gone over for 4. So it's a very, very good shot from Sheel. Straight over the bowler's head. Here he goes in the slot, right over and over the fielder at long off for 4. So much needed boundary after losing a spate of wickets here in quick succession. There again, going for the aerial route. That's 2 runs. Couple of runs here. Just a single, I beg your pardon. Single taken. Oh, six, nay, 6, yeah. Aerial route, but just in front of the fielder at long on. So we only have to settle for a single. New bowler coming in there. So they'll be looking to rebuild things here. The Jns Supremos. Just when it seemed that they were having control over proceedings, the Yoddhas struck back with quick wickets. Nile is the new bowler who's come in. Starts off with a very, very good delivery. Nothing doing, says the umpire, in terms of the appeal by the fielding side. Again, beaten there, all ends up. So now the bowling has been tight, and these fielding and the bowling together has made sure that the Jns Supremos have not been able to get those runs and not been able to get the boundaries in frequency as well. Again, a swing and a miss will only give them a single. So here we go. Much needed boundary. It's taking the aerial route once again. Just land short in front of the fielder. Will only be a single. So Chetan to continue. I think what the Yoddhas will be looking for is to stop the flow of runs as much as possible. Just continue to bowl what they're doing. Just get those basics right and control the controllables and not give as many extras as they did in the first half of the innings. So here he comes. Tried to make that full ball into a full toss but did not get the timing that he was looking for, so eventually will only have to settle for a single. Oh, tries to slap that. He cuts that nicely. So good tight bowling this by the Yoddhas. Oh, he's picked the aerial route there. Lands safely. Will only get a single. So this is nice bowling. And the Supremos batsmen just not able to get those big shots. They're taking the aerial route, but they're neither getting the elevation nor the distance nor the timing that is required to make sure that it goes to the boundary. And boundaries currently are of utmost importance to them if they have to get anywhere closer to that 160 mark. That's been given as a wide. He's looking to make some room for himself there. and trying to deposit it behind the keeper. We are midway into the 15th over. No run there. Four balls into the 15th over. This is nice tight bowling here from Chetan. Tries to bowl it nice and full, and he succeeds in doing so. So that's a good ball. And that's not been given as a wide as well. So that is a plan well executed. Can he finish the over successfully? Here he, oh, that's been given as a wide. We'll have to bowl that one again. Here he goes. Again has to bowl that. That's a wide. So these extras plaguing what has been a rather disciplined bowling performance in the second half of this innings by the AVM Yoddhas. They'd like to cut down on these extras as we approach the final 5 overs of the batting inning. Edges that, and that is beating the fielder, and that is gone to the boundary for four. Much needed boundary here for the Supremos. Cuts that, gets it nice and fine, beats the fielder at third man, and that goes to the boundary for four. 15 overs gone, 5 more to go. Oh, that was a lovely delivery. He was beaten all ends up there. Was beaten all ends up there by the bowler. Another good ball here. Oh, that is well kept. Been given as a wide too. So good discipline, good tight bowling this from Nile. Oh, played that well, dug that nicely, and that is gone for four. He's played that very, very well. He's played that Yorker excellently well there. Lovely. Opens the face of the bat at the last moment, gets enough power to beat that fielder, and that goes for four. So it'll be very interesting to see how far can the Supremos go from here in terms of the score, and how far can they take this. Oh, tries to give it the charge but misses it completely. So you're sort of, oh, he's just moved, but again, the scamper across for that quick single. There's just no timing on the shot out there. That's the end of the 16th over. Oh, he's got an inside edge to that. Very, very fortunate that he was able to get some bat on it. Gets a single. Here comes the bowler. Picks it. Oh, he was unable to. The ball was hidden in the line of sight. And what was an easy catch is counted now as a misfield and a single to boot as well. Here should have been a very, very simple catch at the end of it all, but just wasn't able to pick the ball from the lights. And he immediately points it to his fielder. Picks that nicely. but there is protection in the deep, so only a single. Just a single there. Sheel and Abhishek providing a little bit of a platform. So we are the final 3 overs of the first innings. The JNS Supremos are on 151 for 6. Can they get that score anywhere close to that 180 mark? They need 30 runs from here. Not a tough ask, given that Sheel and Abhishek so far have played rather well. So Prathamesh bowling his first over. Not a wide. So good bowling there. Short, little wide. It was enticing the batsman to go for that shot, but good start to the 18th over here by Prathamesh. There's Abhishek on strike. Plays that well, but again, just did not get enough. Will only be a single. So nice disciplined start here by Prathamesh. Sheel on strike. Oh, beaten for pace. Beaten for pace. Was trying to gently play that down to third man, but the pace was too much for Sheel to execute that shot. Was beaten all ends up. So Prathamesh continuing to Sheel. Again, swings and misses, so no run. So this is a good over under the circumstances for Prathamesh and for the AVM Yoddhas, especially when it is very clear that the JNS Supremos are looking to get that target to 180 thereabouts. So dot balls here are equivalent to gold dust at the moment for the bowling side. Again, this time edges it. There is protection out there in the deep, so will only be a single. Two singles of the 5 balls. Need to finish strong here to the AVM Yoddhas. Here he comes. Again, tries to give him some room and play it through the offside, but the lack of timing what mean in it means that they'll only have to settle for a single. That's 18 overs done and dusted. The JNS Supremos are 154 for 6. So we are in the final 2 overs of the first innings. How many runs can the Jns Supremos get from here? And how low of a score from here on can the Yoddhas restrict the Supremos to? It will be very, very interesting to see. It is Kostub who will bowl penultimate over here. That's edged, and that is only a single. 11 legal deliveries to go. How many runs can the JNS Supremos get? And how few runs can the Yoddhas concede from here? Bowls it full, and that has gone for 4. That is a much, much needed boundary and a very welcome boundary for the Supremos. That takes the score to 159 for 6. Can reach out and touch that 180 run mark, but can they get there? That is the $1,000,000 question. 10 more legal deliveries to go. The pressure well and truly on both sides, if you think about it. Here is Kostup to continue. Shield. Oh, he's gone. Knocked him over. You miss. I hit. And he gets that wicket, that much needed breakthrough. Just when it was looking like the Supremos would get that target, the Yoddhas strike back with a vengeance. The 7th wicket gone. Nice, full, straight. Looked like a blind slog. He was trying to get any sort of bat on that, but he wasn't able to. And the leg stump is out for a cartwheel. But a good knock by Shield regardless, getting their team to a respectable total despite those early fall of wickets in the middle stages. So Jairaj is the new batsman out in the middle. Jairaj picks the ball first up, will only get a single though. And that means the score is up to 160. Brings Abhishek on strike. Oh, that was narrowly above the stumps. So another dot ball here, just missing it. He's trying to give himself room to cut through the offside. Just doesn't get bat on it at all. 7 more legal deliveries to go. The score 160 for 7. Here is Kostup to bowl the final ball of the penultimate over. What can Abhishek conjure up here? Oh, he's hit that. Oh, he smashed that for 4. Brilliant shot indeed. Gives him room, beats that fielder, and goes to the boundary like a tracer bullet. 164 for 7 after 19 overs. 6 more legal deliveries to go, but the problem here for the Supremos is that it is Jairaj who will face the first ball of the final over. All Jairaj needs to do is just get bat on ball and bring Abhishek back on strike. Jairaj asking for a helmet. Yes, he is. That's the pacer to bowl the final over. Last 6 balls of the first innings. 164 the score. What can the bowling side conjure up here to make sure that they chase anything less than 180? Can they restrict them to even under 170? The responsibility of that falls on Saurabh. He's bowled 3 overs for his 1 wicket and 28 runs given. It'll be very interesting to see what the approach is from the fielding side. There's a bit of a conference going on out there. They want to get their plan spot on. Want to make sure that they do not give away a lot of runs in this over. Last 6 balls, Jairaj is the batsman on strike. All he needs to do is take a single and bring Abhishek on this side. Can he be able to do that? Will he be able to do that? Here is Saurabh to Jairaj. First ball of the final over. Oh, he takes the aerial route. That's in the air and taken. So Abhishek still on the non-striker's end. Jairaj was looking for the big shot. That was in the air for a very, very long time indeed. The fielder set himself up rather nicely, covered the ground, and it was a rather comfortable catch. Very well taken there. So that is another wicket falling, but even more so for the Yoddhas, the set batter is on the non-striker's end. The Supremos 164 for 8. Aditya is the new batsman who is walking out to the middle, and he also will have the same responsibility. Bring Abhishek at the striker's end. He is the one who will be in charge of scoring those runs for his side, but it won't be possible if he is on the non-striker's end, and that is the last place where Abhishek would want to be himself. Swings and misses, another dot ball. So this is a very good start for the Yoddhas in this final over. Can they continue the good work? That that is exactly what Abhishek has walked and told Aditya. Give me the single, give me the strike. Just put bat and ball and run for the hills. Oh, that's a that is a brilliant catch. Absolute blinder there. Let's have a look at that again. You have to see it to believe it because Abhishek has just ran back and come in the sheer bewilderment of it all. Here we go. He's hit that, and that is brilliant. That is an absolute blinder of a catch there. Oh my word. Excellent, excellent bit of fielding. And a rather cheeky grin from the bowler himself. What a catch that is. Take a bow, sort of. Take a bow. The ninth wicket goes down. It's 164 for 9. And once again, Abhishek still finds himself on the non-striker's end. 3 balls into the final over. And the way things are going, it looks like he might not see strike after all. Pradeep is the final batsman walking into the middle. And again, the message would be the same. Give me the strike. Here it is. And he is able to give Abhishek the strike for the final 2 balls of this innings. And I think it's an absolute no-brainer at this point that it will be Abhishek who will be taking strike for both these deliveries. So it's either a dot, a 2, a 4, or a 6. The 4 outcomes that would be in Abhishek's mind at this stage. The dot would be the last possible option because they will need runs here. Here is Abhishek. Oh, that's a brilliant Yorker. Absolute peach of a delivery here. This is an excellent last over by Saurabh. 5 balls, just 1 run, and 2 wickets. Talk about a peerless final over. This is death bowling at its finest, folks. Absolutely no wiggle room. Final ball of the over. What can Abhishek conjure up here? Here he comes. And that is an excellent dot. Oh, that's only a single. So we are come to the end of the first innings, and the Jns Supremos finish at 166 for 9 after being put into bat first. They had a promising start. They were close to 100 at the halfway mark, but an excellent comeback by the Avm Yoddhas means that the target for them is 167 runs in 20 overs. We'll be back shortly after this break with the run chase. Hello, everyone, and we are back for what should be a thrilling run chase. The Jns Supremos, batting first, have put on a score of 166 in their allotted 20 overs. The target for the AMV Yoddhas is 167 with an asking rate of 8.35. The opening batters for the Yoddhas are Vishal and Chetan, with Chetan to take strike. And it is Vishal who will kickstart proceedings for the Supremos with the ball. Here's the first ball. Vishal Chetan. Oh, that's a leaning edge and just falls agonizingly short in front of the bowler. So an eventful start already. There, he was trying to glance it, just unaware of where the ball went. Very, very close indeed. A very, very eventful start to this run chase here. If the first ball is any indication of things to come, we are in for a thriller, folks. Because the Supremos will have the confidence of having a score in excess of 160. Oh, that's a good ball to follow up as well. So that's a nice little start from the Supremos with the ball. Vishal in particular. They'll be well aware they must have had a look at the way the Yoddhas did bowl. And the one thing that immediately strikes out is the number of extras that they gave away. Poor lines and lengths contributed to a lot of extras, and the Supremos will be hoping to avoid that mistake. That's in the air, or just short of the over the fielder, and that is gone for four. So the run chase is well and truly underway now. Good ball, takes the aerial route, enough power to just get it over that fielder at mid-off, and with no fielder out there in the deep, that is a boundary. So that boundary means the run chase for the Yoddhas has kick-started in earnest. The first boundary for both Chetan and the AMV Yoddhas. Cuts nicely between the gap. That is back-to-back boundaries for the AVM Yoddhas. It's a lovely shot, lovely follow-up shot as well. Nice, elegant cut off that back foot. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Pierces the gap like a surgeon. What precision on that shot. So the Yoddhas have got up and running after a couple of dot balls. Chetan unfurling a couple of stylish strokes for the AVM Yoddhas here. And just like that, with those two boundaries, they have caught up with the asking rate already. So very, very good start. Very, very confident start indeed. And as I say, the towels already come out 4 balls into the second innings. Dew could be a massive, massive factor in this contest and how the events pan out from here. It's a dot ball after the two boundaries. And again, fielding side using the towels. So will be a testing time for the bowlers. Plays that nicely, daps it up, but no single on offer. So it's the end of the first over, and two boundaries means that the AVM Yoddhas are 8 for no loss. Pradeep is the new bowler from the other end for the opening bowling partnership, and Vishal will take strike for the first time in this innings. He'll have to bowl that one again. Looking at his run up. Nicely played off the pads. Was trying to get off the mark there, but good tight fielding means that he will have to wait to get off the mark. There's Vishal. Pradeep to continue. Plays that one nicely. Has he found the gap? Well fielded there. Will get 2 runs, and that means Vishal is off the mark with that shot. It was nicely played. Picked that long pocket out in that boundary in the deep. Was hoping that he would get a boundary, but 2 runs is not a bad outcome as well. So Vishal to continue to take strike. Oh, that has cut him in half. Very good ball from Pradeep here. Late movement. Beats him all ends up. So the ball is playing a few tricks out here. Late movement, uneven bounce. So it'll be a very, very interesting period here for the batsmen and for the bowlers as well if they need to keep it accurate. There again, a swing and a miss, and this one agonizingly close to the off stump. So Vishal flirting with danger a bit here, thanks to the accurate bowling of Pradeep so far. A few words of encouragement from his partner there. Vishal, will there be a change in game plan? Tried to throw the bat at the previous 2 deliveries. What will he do here? Here is Pradeep bowling to Vishal. Plays it, beats that fielder, beats those 2 fielders, and they will get another couple here. So they've got 4 runs off this over. A boundary here probably will make sure that things are on an even keel as far as the run chase is concerned. Will make things better for them. Sedate, watchful start by the opening pair for the Yoddhas. That's been given as a wide. We'll have to bowl that one again. First wide. At this point, the Yoddha bowlers had already given away quite a fair few extras. So already on the face of it, this is a much better start for the ball. But as I say, they have to continue to be accurate or else. Oh, that's a good looking shot. Oh, agonizingly close there. That will go to the boundary, but good lord, that was a very, very close shave there. Played that well. That was a despairing dive, agonizingly close there. Great effort, but it will go to the boundary. So the end of 2 overs, the AVM Yoddhas 17 for no loss. So Vishal back to continue his second over. Chetan to take strike. Oh, that's in the air. It's huge, it's high, and that is taken. Was in the air for a long time, but eventually a rather comfortable catch. And the first wicket falls for the Yoddhas. The Supremos strike first blood. The Yoddhas are 17 for 1. He tried to take advantage of those field restrictions there. Let's have a look at the replay here. Tried to take advantage. He was trying to go for that big shot. I don't think he connected it that nicely because that was in the air for a very, very long time indeed. But a very, very comfortable catch at the end by the fielder there. Makes absolutely no mistake. And one wicket down are the Yoddhas with 17 runs on the board. There's a new batsman walking in. Solid defensive stroke there means that the new batsman's off the mark immediately. Plays it gently with soft hands, opens that face of the bat just next to him on that leg side, scampers across for a quick single. Here is Vishal, facing Vishal. Drives it nicely in that gap between the two fielders. Should get a couple and they get it comfortably at the end. So Vishal currently batting on 10 of 7, and Neelav, the new batsman, just recently got off the mark in the first ball that he faced. Oh, was trying to flick that on the leg side, but because the ball was already straying down, had to be given as a wide, so we'll have to bowl that one again. Here is Vishal bowling to Vishal. Oh, lets that go. A little bit of bounce there. Wisely decides to play against. Just lets that go watchfully under his eyes. Good to see the technique on the leave as well. Very good to see a leave in the current modern landscape of the game, given that the focus is so much on attack. Oh, try to flick that, but there is protection out there in the deep, so will it be a dot ball? Good field placement there with that fielder there at short third. That's a good looking shot. Will they get two? And they come across comfortably for a two. So Vishal currently dealing in 2 runs and 2 runs at the moment. He's playing the field rather well. That's the end of the third over. The AVM Yoddhas 23 for 1. 3 overs down, 23 for 1. The Yoddhas need 144 more from 17 overs. The asking rate is at 8.47. Pradeep to continue from the other end. So consecutive spells for both their opening bowlers without a change. That's been given as a wide. We'll have to reload that one again. Yes, that was wide. Late movement after. Here comes Pradeep bowling to Neelav. Oh, that's a good ball. Beats the batsman, all ends up. A little bit of fumble from the keeper, but that does not mean a run, and so it's still a dot ball at the end of the day. Plays that nicely, opening the face of the bat, but no run again. Pradeep to continue. Neelav is the batsman on strike. He's played 2 dot balls now. What is going through his mind? Will he go for a big shot, or will he just take his time and acclimatize to the conditions? Wide. We'll have to bowl that one again. So he sprayed down a couple of wides on either side of the wicket here. One on the offside and one on the leg. This was comfortably down the leg side as well. If you look at it, Neela was rather fortunate that he did not get anything on the way, because that would have been a very, very close caught behind chance there. So all in all, Neela rather fortunate to not get any bat on that. But again, accuracy, the name of the game. Pradeep will have to find his bearings quickly so that the extras are nipped right in the bud. Here is Pradeep bowling to Neelav, who's currently standing well outside his crease. Edges, but there is the fielder, so this is good field placement here. He's well aware that an edge could probably go all the way, but so that is a very, very good field set there. He is playing on the batsman's mind to indulge or entice him into a big shot. But now the problem is that Neelav has played 3 consecutive dot deliveries, the wides notwithstanding. He's not got a run in exchange there again. So this one's a much better shot. Will get off strike eventually, but he's already played 4.4 deliveries and just got a single for those troubles. And in a situation where you're chasing a total which is above 160, anything less than 8 runs and over automatically will eventually build the pressure up on the batting side or the chasing side in this particular instance. Here is Vishal. That's a wide. We'll have to bowl that one again. So the radar's off a bit for Pradeep in this over. 3 wides already. And still 2 more balls to go. Those 3 wides have meant that an ideal over that should have been only a single is now 4 runs. Still 2 more balls to go. Plays it straight back to the bowler, so no run there. He's compensated for one of those extra deliveries. Can he end the over the same way? We'll need to end this over strong, because a boundary here means that they are on par with the asking rate. Here is Pradeep bowling to Vishal. Picks it nicely, and that is gone for 4. So Vishal eventually has the last laugh in this over. Picks it beautifully, flicks it, knows exactly where the fielders are, And that was a beautiful shot, a couple of bounces into the rope. So the end of the fourth over, the AVM Yoddhas are now 31 for 1. Two more overs left for the power play. Vishal will bowl his third over on the trot in the power play itself. Supremos trusting their opening pair to deliver the goods when it matters for them. So Neelav is the batsman on strike. He will be looking to break the shackles a bit. Plays it nicely under his eye line for a comfortable single. Here is Vishal. Bowling to Vishal. Again, plays it nicely in that longer pocket for a single. This is a nice batting strategy by both those batsmen there, following the same template that the Supremos did when they were batting, not facing too many dot deliveries, trying to just keep the scoreboard ticking, making sure that the scoreboard is not stuck at the same place for a considerable amount of time, and singles and doubles will do that. And once again, Neelav standing well outside his crease. Edges. Again, there is a fielder there. Will only be a single. Good tight bowling this from Vishal. He's into his third over. He's given away 17 runs. He's picked up that wicket. So all in all, it has not been a shabby bowling performance by the Supremos. He's kept things nice and tight, and here is Vishal to face. Picks it nicely, and that is, oh, he's dropped that. He has dropped an absolute sitter at long on, and he knows it. He knows it. He is hiding his face. He does not want to be seen by his fielders. Good Lord. That could have been the turning point of the game this early. There, he didn't have to move an inch. Straight at him and straight out. In she goes and out she goes. That should have been taken. Oh dear. A swing and a miss. The Supremos know that they should have had the second wicket there. They should have had a second wicket there. The fielder there at long on will be kicking himself. 9 times out of 10, they catch that. He catches that. Unfortunate, this very, very unfortunate. Needs to put his shoulders up and not let them drop. And this time, once again, probably, but that is gone for 6. Talk about adding salt into the wounds of the fielding side, and this is exactly what Vishal has done. He's picked that right out of the middle of the bat, and that has gone sailing over that very same fielder who dropped him for 6. So that is the end of the fifth over. The AVM Yoddhas are keeping up with the asking rate. They are 40 for 1. Last over of the field restrictions. The Yoddhas are 40 for 1. And finally, there is a bowling change. It will be Aditya who has been introduced into the bowling attack. And he will be bowling to Neelav. Neelav is struggling to find his bearings a bit. He is currently batting on 4 of 7 deliveries. Probably this could be that over where he frees himself a bit and, frees his arms and plays a couple of scoring shots that will fetch him a quick 4 here or there. Will help in the scoring burden as well, given the circumstances. That's been given as a wide. So we'll have to bowl that one again. 41 for 1, the Yoddhas, chasing 167. 126 needed from 15 overs. We are in the last over of the field restrictions. That is another wide. So it seems like the epidemic of bowling extras is spreading to the Supremos bowlers as well, eventually. Nice bit of sportsmanship there. The member of the bowling side tying Vishal's laces. That is exactly why we play the game of cricket. Here it is. Bowls it well, plays it nicely off the face of the bat. We'll get a single there. So after two wides, a legal delivery has been bowled. And that brings Vishal on the strike. He's currently batting on 23 of 16 deliveries. Plays that nicely. Will get a single. Neelav back on strike. Very interesting to see Neelav's guard here. Yes, continuing to stand well outside the crease. Plays that down the ground. 2 mid off for another quick single. So 5 runs of 3 balls. That includes a couple of wides first up. Here is Aditya bowling to Vishal. Plays it nicely under his eye line for another quick single. So the rotation of strike has been on point so far by the batsman. Taking every opportunity, and because it's the left hand right hand combination, it becomes a little difficult for the bowler to alter his lines and lengths because it is a left hander and right hander who are playing. Here is Aditya. Oh, Neelav backs out at just the moment of release. Pretty sure that is not something Aditya would like to happen quite often. Bowlers have pretty short memories. Here is Aditya bowling to Neelav. Plays it well and goes for four. So that ploy of backing out has worked. Opens the face of the bat at the very last moment. Plays it between that gap and no deep third on the boundary, and that is gone for four. The 50 comes up for the Yoddhas for the loss of just a wicket. So again, a good foundation being laid as far as the run chase goes. Last ball of the power play. What will Neelav do? Again, plays it there, but this time not in the gap. They will get that single. So that is the end of the power play. And after 6 overs, the AVM Yoddhas are 51 for 1. New bowler out there. Varun is the new bowler there, introduced into the attack. So Varun taking his time. Neelav is on his haunches. He's got his first scoring shot. He will be looking to add a couple more in the space of the next 5 to 10 minutes. Still taking time to set his field here as Varun. Change of angle for Varun. Neelav all in readiness now. And here is Varun. He's taken the aerial route, very first delivery. But there is protection there at long on. Will be a single. Vishal currently batting on 25 of 18. Neelav at a runner ball 12. Here is Varun bowling to Vishal. Ooh, huge appeal there, but nothing doing, says the umpire. Ball there from Varun. Plays that one nicely. Oh, that is poor fielding. That is absolutely poor fielding. Varun plays that shot well, but in all intents and purposes, the fielder needs to have that covered. Oh, an unlucky deflection, and the ball deviates away from his fielding position. But that is a boundary, and Vishal continues to get a move on there. He moves on to 29. The score 56 for 1. At this point, they are above the asking rate. They're going at 8.6. The asking rate's 8.2. Here is Varun bowling to Vishal. Takes the aerial route this time. And that's gone all the way for 6. So 4 and now a 6. So Vishal well and truly turning on the heat here for the Yoddhas. Comfortably over the fielder's head for 6. So 11 runs of this over. 2 more balls to go. Probably just the over the Yoddhas were looking for to assert their dominance in these early exchanges of the run chase. Plays that nicely. Will that be 2? No. They will settle only for a single. So 12 runs of this over. 1 more ball to go. What does Neelav do here? Does he go for the boundary? Does he just take a single and add on just to what has been a pretty good over so far under the circumstances? Plays it very nicely. But there is a fielder there. No run. So it will be a 12 run over. 7 overs gone. The AVM Yoddhas are 63 for 1. Abhishek introduced into the bowling attack. Another bowling change by the Supremos. Vishal looking in good touch at the moment. 36 of 22. Neelav on the non-strikers end is currently batting on 12 of 13 deliveries. Here's Abhishek to Vishal. Vishal plays it off the back foot. Again hits it in that pocket. He's looking for 2. Very good running indeed. He knew exactly where the fielders were placed, hit it exactly in that pocket, and gets 2 runs for it. So staying above that required run rate here. Nice, solid defense. No run there. In the air, over the fielder, and that will race away to the boundary for 4. Good shot. This short ball plays it very well over that fielder, generates enough power and enough distance and enough pace on that ball. Little lazy there from the fielder in the deep. Will eventually go to the boundary for 4. 6 runs of the first 3 balls. Here is Abhishek to continue bowling to Vishal. Vishal moves on to 42 with that boundary. Oh, almost played on. Very fortunate that the ball did not cannon into the stumps there. Played that one, but there is protection out there in the deep, will only be a single. Neelav to continue to take strike against Abhishek at this juncture. Plays it nicely once again. Easy single on offer. So 8 overs gone. The AVM Yoddhas 71 for 1. So we're 8 overs into the run chase, and the AVM Yoddhas are comfortably ahead of the proceedings at the moment. They're going at 8.8 and over with the required run rate at 8 runs. Wide. We'll have to bowl that one again. There is Pritesh. Takes the aerial route here as Neelav, and that is gone to the boundary for 4. Very, very good shot this. Gives himself a little bit of room. Opens that face beautifully over that fielder, and no protection out there in the deep leaves. That is an easy boundary for 4. Again, plays it very well. A little bit of hesitation, but no run taken. Pritesh to continue. Neelav just getting himself ready to face the ball. And here he is. Pritesh to Neelav. Plays it nicely off his pads. Again, there's shot fine. So this time they will come across for a single. Plays that off nicely of the back foot, but no run given by the fielding side. Vishal going great guns at the moment. There's Pritesh. Oh, he's picked that beautifully. And that is gone for four as well. That is a classic extra cover drive. Beautiful balance. Picks that beautifully. Right in the gap between those two fielders at the deep. And Vishal moves on to 47. Excellent batting this from Vishal. The Yoddhas are well and truly in control of this run chase. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Vishal knew it from the moment he hit the bat that that was going only one way. And that's a six. What a way to bring up your half century. And as he acknowledges the crowd, the score has moved on to 87 at the end of 9 overs. The Yoddhas are in the driver's seat. Look at that shot. Absolute nonchalance. The moment he hit it, he knew it straight away that that was going for six. Immediately after hitting, points the bat to his team. Well deserved half century here from Vishal. Set the tone for this run chase from right at the beginning. And he's reaping the rewards, and his team are in the ascendancy at the moment. 53 of 30 deliveries at a strike rate of almost 180. Excellent batting this. Abhishek to continue. Nicely played this one as well, and that is going to the bar. Oh, that is well fielded. Excellent fielding there in the deep. Saved a couple of runs for his side. It was going to the boundary for all intents and purposes, but he covered a huge amount of ground and well fielded in the deep. Knee left to keep strike. Beats the fielder. And that is gone to the boundary for four. Played that late cut to perfection. Nice in that gap. The fielder absolutely had no chance. So they just continue to motor along in a merry way. They are at 93 now. Well on top. The required run rate has now gone down below 7. Oh, he's played that well too. But there is protection out there, so will only be a single. 94 for 1. The Yoddhas. Vishal on strike. Oh, he's bludgeoned that straight down the ground for 4. Vishal is in no mood to relent. Look at that. Rocks on his back foot. Slaps it with all the power he had. And that ball has traveled like a tracer bullet to the boundary for 4. 98 for 1. And the Yoddhas are now cantering along to that target with ease. 11 runs of this over. Here's Vishal. Plays that one well. That is going to the boundary as well. So that is another boundary, and the 100 comes up with that shot. Again, off the back foot, you name it. He has played every shot in the book. He's played the punch, he's played the drive, he's played the cut. Excellent batting this. 102 for 1, the Yoddhas chasing 167. They have made it look rather easy here. Vishal in particular, he looks like he's batting on a different pitch altogether. Here is Abhishek bowling to Vishal. Plays that one nicely once again into that long pocket. They are looking for 2. and they will get two very comfortably indeed. So 17 runs coming off this over. We are halfway through to the run chase. 10 overs gone. The AVM Yoddhas are 104 for 1. It's time for drinks. And here is the highlights of the innings of Vishal so far. As you can see, there's the drive, the lofted off drive. Next ball here. Nice flick onto that leg side for another boundary. Here you see straight over the batsman's, over the bowler's head and over the long on field of a six. You're rocking off the back foot and plays it behind deep square leg for a boundary. It should have been saved, but that will be counted as a four. And then here we go. Straight, high, handsome six. The next one here, short ball. Plays it very well, getting on top of the ball. Finds enough power for the boundary. Here, the extra cover drive to perfection. Here again, bludgeons it, short arm jab, bottom man into play, 6 runs. And that one straight down the ground with ferocious power for 4. And then the crowning cut shot, lovely. Brilliant batting, hitting his shots all around the park for 4. Bring So all the players are well hydrated. This is a drinks break that was much needed if the Supremos were to be concerned. They just have 63 runs in the bank, and they are playing against two batsmen who are well set, with one of them taking the attack to them in brutal and relentless fashion, and the other one playing the role of the sheet anchor to perfection. So Jairaj is the new bowler who's into the attack. Here is Jairaj bowling to Neelav. Tries to be play that with soft hands, but dot ball. Here is Jairaj bowling to Neelav once again. This time cuts it and cuts it nicely. And that is gone to the boundary for four. So the boundaries continue to come in thick and fast for the Yoddhas. Just that little bit of room, and Neelav cuts it to perfection. To the boundary for four. No protection out there. Despairing effort by the fielder to no avail. Found that gap to perfection, did Neelav, and this is an excellent partnership here. Both the batsmen playing to their strengths and have just made sure that they are in complete control of this run chase. Here is Jairaj. Try to cut that one again. He's found the gap. They're looking for two, and they get two rather comfortably. So this is great running between the wickets and equal mixing of strike rotation and finding the boundary with ease by both batsmen here. Here is Jairaj to Neelav. Opens the face of the bat straight to the fielder there, so no run. Great display of athleticism and fitness from both the batsmen here. Quick singles, long twos, power hitting, placement, everything on top notch display. And both of them have shown that they are able to motor this run chase with ridiculous ease at this point. 57 needed of 56. Here is Jairaj. Tried to play that expansive cut once again, and once again they've taken that quick single. So this is excellent running between the wickets from both of them. They've just not given the Supremos any room to take charge of this contest after the fall of that first wicket, and the only wicket so far. 111 for one more ball to go in this 11th over. 56 runs required in 55 balls. They are scoring at well above 10 runs an over. So little adjustment to the field done here. Vishal just having a look at the field that has been set for him. It's a long off, a long on, a deep extra cover, deep third man. Plays it straight back to the bowler. So that's the end of the 11th over. The AVM Yoddhas are a Nelson for one. So Rohit is the new bowler into the attack. Oh, little bit of late movement there. Good start. Dot balls won't do here for the Supremos. They know that they need wickets at this juncture of the innings. The more wickets they take, because this was around the time, the same juncture in the innings where the Supremos kept losing wickets at regular intervals. Wide. I have to bowl that one again. Not the start that Rohit would have wanted. Romit, I beg your pardon, not the start that Romit would have wanted. Plays that nicely, opens the face of the bat to that fielder at deep extra cover for a single. And that brings Vishal on strike. Romit to continue. Vishal on strike. Wide given by the umpire. Here comes Romit. Picks that ball. Protection in the deep will only be a single. Here's Romit bowling to Neelav this time. Neelav on 33 of 27. Oh, that's picked nicely. But there is protection out there in the deep. Will only be a single. So 5 runs coming of this over so far. Still 2 more deliveries to go. Vishal back on strike. He'd be looking for a big shot somewhere down the line. Could this be the ball that he takes the aerial route? Plays it nicely off his pads for a single. 6 runs off. 1 more ball in this over. '50 needed of 49. Plays it nicely down the ground to the fielder at long on for a single. The end of 12 overs. The AVM Yoddhas are 118 for 1. Here is Aditya. Oh, that's a huge appeal and it's given. That is given and that breaks the partnership. A much needed breakthrough. Neelav can't believe it, but he has to walk back. The Yoddhas are 118 for 2. He's trying to swivel. The ball was drifting down the leg side. I think he must have got a glove to that one. And he has got a glove to that one. A very good decision by the umpire there. Had he left that, that would have been a wide. But he went to play and he has to lose his wicket here. But it was a good innings from him. Rishi, the new batsman, walks into the middle. But despite the fall of the wicket, they're still in a pretty commanding position here. There's only 49 runs to win, or 47 deliveries, 8 wickets in hand. So still a rather comfortable stage to be in if the Yoddhas are concerned. Here is Aditya. Oh, that's a good shot. He's picked that beautifully for 4. Absolutely thumped that. Brilliant shot from Rishi. It's a good shot from Rishi to get off the mark straight away with a boundary. Plays it off the face of the bat. No run, but a good connection out there. Gets that defensive shot right out of the middle of the bat. Does Rishi? Oh, that he's taken the aerial route here. Fielder coming underneath it. Oh, he's dropped that. Oh my word. He did the hard part right. He covered a lot of ground. He got himself underneath the ball, but he was just not able to gather it. Yeah, he did not get the connection he was looking for. Was in the air for a very, very long time. Did everything right, but was not able to gather the ball when it mattered. So another chance gone a begging. Here is Aditya bowling to Vishal. Oh, he has planked that. Oh, hey, he's hit that with so much power. Brute force. Brutally dispatched that boundary. He has thumped that with an almighty thwack. Vishal does not want to waste any more time. He wants to reach to the target as quickly as possible. Here is Aditya. Plays that off well on the front foot. Will get a single. So that is the end of the 13th over. The AVM Yoddhas 128 for 2. Vishal on strike. He's batting on 71. Oh, that's gone down the ground for a single. Romit brought back into the attack. The Yoddhas now are 130 for 2. They need just 37 runs more in 41 deliveries. Well and truly in the driver's seat here. Rishi on strike, standing well ahead of his crease, a couple of feet away ahead of his crease. Oh, was going for that slog sweep. Takes the edge and hits his pad. Eventually going to the bowler. 37 required of 40. It's a good slow Yorker. Another dot ball here. Probably trying to build pressure with a couple of dot balls here, but given the way that, given the score, and given that there is not much pressure in terms of getting to that score with 8 wickets still in hand, you won't feel that the Yoddhas will be pressurized in with a couple of dot balls. There, he's picked that one nicely. Oh, he's got. Oh no! Oh my goodness gracious me! He has dropped that. Another chance gone down. Poor fielding has been the theme of the day for the Supremos. Again, he's not got the connection at all. Sliced off the bat. This had to be taken, but that has gone down as well. How many dropped catches are too many dropped catches? They've dropped Vishal and they're already paying a heavy price for it. They dropped Neela, but now they've dropped Rishi. He's hit that one down the ground for a single. Misfields, fumbles, dropped catches, everything happening for the Supremos fielders. And not to forget the plethora of extras that they gave away. Here's Vishal batting on 72. Big stat. And that is gone for 4. Stand and deliver. Vishal is well and truly on a different plane of existence when it comes to batting. He has just had an absolute blast of a time in the middle, picking anything and everything and finding the boundary with ridiculous ease. It feels like he's batting on an entirely different pitch compared to the others. Excellent batting display, this. Absolutely stupendous. Jairaj, the new bowler, coming in to bowl his second over. Jairaj taking time to set his field. Now marking his run up as he's set to bowl to Rishi. 32 runs required in 6 overs. Here is Jairaj. Pick that to the field at long on for a single. Here is Jairaj to continue to Vishal this time. So he's taken the leaning edge here. It's in the air for a very long time, but lands safely in no man's land between three fielders. We'll get a couple. Here's Jairaj. Slow ball. And that will go to the fielder at third man. Oh, that is going to the boundary. That has gone to the boundary for four. All Rishi needed to do was just get some bat on it and eventually finds the boundary with ease. Here's Jairaj bowling to Rishi. Oh, he's picked the bones out of that. But there is a fielder there in the deep. Will only be a single. 24 runs needed. Just 25 runs needed. 24 to tie the scores. Here is Jairaj bowling to Vishal. He takes the aerial route. Will only be a single. And that's the end of the 15th over. The Avm Yoddhas 143 for 2. 24 runs more needed in 5 overs. Vishal on strike. Very interesting situation here. Vishal is on strike, and it's a very interesting situation here. Vishal needs 23 runs to complete his century. The Yoddhas need 24 runs to end up winning the game. So can we see both things happening at the same time? Varun bowling. Oh, Vishal has picked the bones out of that. Oh, he's got four. A little bit of misjudgment there from the fielder in the deep. He came in for the catch, Would probably have, yeah, he came in for the catch. He tried the risky thing, wasn't able to get there, and eventually concedes the boundary. Good thinking by the fielder there at the deep, going for the catch rather than saving the boundary. So Vishal now into the 80s. He moves on to 81. Plays it nicely down the ground. Quick single. He's on 82 now. 19 runs required. Varun to bowl to Rishi. So huge appeal and given. That looked plumb right in front, and Rishi with that wry smile knows it himself. That's the third wicket gone, but it's a case of too little too late at this stage. Misses the trajectory of the ball completely, and he was right in front of the stumps. That was plumb. Rishi has to depart. The Yoddhas are 148 for 3. Shailesh is the new batsman out there in the middle. Varun to continue. It's been given as a wide. We'll have to bowl that one again. So the Yoddhas now 3 hits away from victory. And Vishal 18 runs away from 100. The Yoddhas 18 runs away from a victory. Nothing doing, says the umpire on this particular occasion. That was well within the tram line. This Varun. Oh, close. A couple of dot balls here making things a bit interesting. Just a bit. Shailesh. Oh, he's gone! Is this a twist in the tail here now? 2 wickets by Varun in this over. And is that a little bit of a plot twist? 16 overs gone. The Yoddhas are 149 for 4. Yeah, trying to play the defensive shot, but oh, that was turned there. The batsman was completely baffled. Even the bowler himself was. It's a great delivery. There. It's a lovely delivery. Eighteen runs required of 4 overs. Vishal on strike. Aditya is the bowler. And Vishal is the new batsman walking in as well. Vishal P. Aditya to bowl to Vishal, who's currently batting on 82. 3 hits away from victory are the Yoddhas. It's a full Monty. Will only get a single here. So 17 needed now. So now So here's Vishal Pandey on strike. Gets off the mark with a single. 16 runs needed. Oh, edged! And that is gone for 4. Thick outside edge. Vishal swung with all the power that he had and just thick edge, and that flew away to the boundary. Look at that. Had that connected, that was 6. But he get 4 and he won't mind that. He moves on to 87. 12 runs to win, 13 runs for a century. Can Vishal go bang bang? Here is Vishal. Miglani facing Aditya. Another edge and another boundary. So 7 runs required now. Again, swings for the trenches. Gets a thick outside edge. And once again, fine enough to beat that fielder at shot third for 4. Vishal into the 90s. 90 of 47. Seven runs required. Vishal feeling it now, and rightly so, after being on strike right from the very first ball. But what an innings he's played. 90 of 47. The principal contributor in this run chase so far. And that's gone for 4 as well. Another misfield. Hits it straight down the ground. Vishal planning to finish it off right in this over. There again, that should have been fielded, but in the end, that's gone for 4 as well. So that's 3 boundaries in a row. 3 runs required now. Here is Aditya bowling to Vishal. He's hit that, and that's a single. So Vishal moves on to 95. The Yoddhas are 165 for 4. 2 runs required to win. Vishal is just 1 hit away from what would be a phenomenally well-deserved century, provided he hits this ball for a 6. But will he, is the question on everyone's minds. So here we go. 2 runs to win, 5 runs for a century. Pritesh bowling to Vishal. Plays a defensive shot. I think we all know what's going on in the mind of Vishal here. Wants to finish things off in style. In the air. And take. Oh, he's dropped it. Oh, he has dropped it. Goodness gracious me. For all intents and purposes, I thought that was out. Here you go. In the air. Should have been a very, very simple catch, but he dropped it. The scores are leveled. That means Vishal will finish on 96. Vishal Pandey is the batsman on strike. Let's that go. Let's that one play. Plays the dot as well. Here is Pritesh bowling to Vishal Pandey. Again, plays it comfortably in front of him for a dot ball. Scores level. And he plays that. So Vishal will take strike for the next over. It's 18 overs gone. The Yoddhas are 166 for 4. They need just one run to win. Vishal just needs a boundary for his 100. Yoddhas need just one run to win. I think it's very, very clear at this stage that what Vishal is going to do. Probably finish it off in this very first delivery itself. Romit is the bowler to bowl to Vishal. Vishal standing well outside his crease, looking at the fielders. Just one hit away is Vishal away from a century. Here is Romit. And that is 100 for Vishal. That's a brilliant 100. And that also means that the AVM Yoddhas win this contest by 6 wickets. It was a phenomenal batting performance right from the start. And it was led by this man, Vishal Meglani, with a brilliant century. Shepherded the run chase, dominated the bowlers right from the outset. Brilliance, power, precision, rotation of strike, you name it, he did it all. What a batting performance this is, and what a commanding victory it has been for the AVM Yoddhas. Tough luck for the Supremos. They tried, they gave it all they had, but it just wasn't enough. So the final score for this DATS Premier League match between the AVM Yoddhas and the JNS Supremos is the AVM Yoddhas win by 6 wickets. I have Delvin. I have been your commentator for tonight, and we will see you tomorrow for another round of exhilarating fixtures. Till then, good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy.